stepping inside a massive industrial facility. If you close your eyes, you might actually expect that heavy metallic smell of grease and exhaust.
But instead it smells like refined botanicals.
Right, exactly. We are looking at heavy machinery parts today. We are doing a deep dive into the historic Lux soap manufacturing plant.
It is such a wild contrast. I mean, we usually associate Lux with classic Hollywood glamour, right? Like Marilyn Monroe or Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, vintage ads.
Right, but the sources we are looking at today paint a picture that looks a lot less like a beauty salon and a lot more like a high-tech oil refinery.
Exactly. Our mission today is to trace this crazy journey of raw vegetable oils and caustic soda. We are looking at how they get engineered into the world's #1 fragrance skin cleansing brand.
Engineered is definitely the right word. Let's begin at the raw material reception stage. The scale is just massive. You have these huge tankers rolling in filled with palm kernel oil and coconut oil.
And they don't just sit there either. The blending tanks have to keep these oils heated precisely between 140 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
Just to manage the viscosity.
Right, to make the oil thin enough to actually pump through the facility.
Because if it cools down, it turns into sludge, and the whole factory literally stops. But the real chemistry happens in the next phase, which is the saponification kettles.
I was amazed by the scale of these things. Some of these vessels are 3 stories tall.
Literally a 3-story cauldron. That is where they mix those hot oils with sodium hydroxide, which you probably know as lye, and it is a violent high heat reaction.
Saponification means turning into soap, right?
Exactly. Inside those kettles, or the modern autoclave systems, the temperature hits 200 to 230 degrees Fahrenheit.
Or 125 degrees Celsius for the autoclaves, yeah.
That heat is what triggers the chemical change, turning fat into soap.
But they don't just make soap, which is fascinating.
No, they don't. They use a process called salting out. They add brine to separate the soap from glycerin.
Which is a super valuable byproduct for cosmetics.
It is. So the glycerin gets siphoned off, leaving just the raw soap base behind.
But then you have this wet, hot soap mixture. And you know consumers want a hard bar of soap.
Air drying, that would take weeks.
Right, so how do they get the water out without cooking the soap and destroying the fragrance?
At this stage, evaporation becomes critical. This brings us to vacuum spray dryers.
It sounds like sci-fi, but it's brilliant physics. They spray the wet soap into a chamber under vacuum pressure, specifically about 40 millimeters of mercury.
Precisely. So 5.3 kilopascals. That low pressure allows the water to flash evaporate instantly at a much lower temperature,
taking the moisture from 30% down to a precise 12 to 15% in seconds.
without heat damage. Then roller mills compress those dried soap pellets into smooth ribbons so the texture is perfectly uniform.
Which brings us to my absolute favorite machine name in this entire deep dive, the plotter.
The plotter! It sounds like a tired machine, but it is an absolute beast.
It really is. It's an extruder operating under massive pressure, over 2,000 psi.
It has to be that high. The plotter's job is to squeeze every single microscopic air pocket out of the soap under vacuum.
Because without that 2,000 psi, the bar would just crack when you drop it in the shower.
Exactly. It turns those soft ribbons into a continuous, dense log.
A brick of chemistry. And then the stamping presses take over, running at speeds of 100 to 300 bars per minute.
A complete blur. But the stamping dies. The actual metal molds aren't cold. They are heated to between 140 and 160 degrees Fahrenheit.
Almost like ironing a shirt to get that glossy, polished look.
Right, a delicate thermal balance happening up to 5 times a second. But finally, we also need to talk about the sheer volume and the rigorous quality control.
The Hammond, Indiana facility, for example.
Yes, producing 950 million bars annually. Handling corrosive materials like lye at that scale requires absolute authority over safety and hygiene.
Right beyond the chemical handling, they use X-ray detection.
X-ray detection and laser profilometers to scan every single bar for defects or foreign objects. It is incredibly strict.
And then the packaging machines fold and seal the wrappers in under a second, using heat-activated adhesives.
It really changes your perspective. You see a bar of Lux in the store and think of soft skin and fragrance.
You don't think of heavy industrial engineering and 2,000 psi precision.
No, it is a product associated with elegance but created by brute force.
So next time you hold a simple bar of soap, just consider the massive pressure and chemical mastery required to make something so perfectly smooth. Thanks for joining us on this.